Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Heritage Railway News. This is your channel for anything in regards to restoration projects, mainline movements, steam galas and so much more. Coming up this week, buyout clause leave the Somerset Railway with huge losses. Yes, so it does seem recent accounts filed by the West Somerset Railway have highlighted a huge loss and potential dark future ahead. New home for bagnall steam locomotive. So yes, Woto is set to join the Apedale Valley Light Railway. And oldest surviving Cheshire built diesel arrives at its new home in Kent. So yes, it does seem the oldest surviving Cheshire built diesel, an 08 shunter, has arrived at its new home at a railway in Kent. All this and more come. So yes guys, welcome back to Heritage Railway News, and like I said, the first topic we're going to run through today is actually all to do with the West Somerset Railway and the recent report that they have just released for the previous financial year running up to the 31st of March 2024, and it is stated that they're realistically losing around £8,000 a week at the moment, and realistically the future is looking a little bit shady for the railway going forward. So yes, recent accounts filed have highlighted that the West Somerset Railway have suffered a more than £8,000 week loss in its last financial year. So it's been stated it has suffered an after-tax hit of £422,690 loss in the last trading year up until March 31st this year. Now that's 51% more than in 2023, where their loss was capped at £216,317. Now it's been stated that most of the losses suffered are actually down to the release of a long-term hire contract with the Somerset and Dorset Railway Trust, and it's for locomotive 53808. So initially the agreement was made between the two railways, which involved the West Somerset Railway contributing towards the locomotive's restoration. The report states that the railway have paid £240,249 overall to buy out its obligation, which would have been paid in monthly instalments over the next 5 years. The report also states that the losses have reduced the railway's cash reserves this year by £77,413, but there were still adequate reserves to continue trading for at least another 12 months. The railway's chairman has stated that in recent years the West Somerset Railway remained in need of regular and significant capital investment. The investment the railway has received has been financed via cash reserves that the railway actually had stored, and the level of profit generated has not been sufficient. In the future, the company will need to generate more profit or identify other ways to finance the continued investment into the railway. So yeah, like I say, the railway's chairman, Mr. Jones Pratt, has stated that he's confident the West Somerset Railway will return to profitable trade in the future. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting one, I have to say. They say they could continue trading for another 12 months. I mean, I'm not 100% too worried about the West Somerset Railway. If I remember rightly, it's noted as the largest, certainly lengthwise, heritage railway in preservation in the UK, at least anyway. So I'm not too worried about it. I don't think anyone would let the railway go under in general, but it seems like there's going to be a few tough decisions going forward, and obviously this was one of them. And then obviously it does then lead the question, you know, in terms of 53808, what's going to happen with the restoration? That, I mean, you know, that's a huge amount that they've pulled out of the restoration for it now, and it was obviously going to be a continuing investment over the next 5 years for it. So where's that investment going to come from now? What's going to happen to the locomotive? You know, the overhaul was on the cards. Now it looks like it's not going to go forward. Only time will tell. But yeah, let's move on to the next piece of news. So yeah, now we move on to the Apedale Valley Light Railway. Now they have just recently announced that a bagnall steam locomotive is going to be joining their fleet very, very soon. So yes, the railway has announced that the bagnall steam locomotive Woto is set to become a resident at the railway. The locomotive has been owned by Patrick Keef, one of the directors of the well-known manufacturer and overhaul of narrow gauge equipment Allen Keef Limited since 1988. During his ownership, Woto has been converted from a 3-foot 6-inch gauge to a more common 2-foot gauge. However, Patrick has decided that now is the time to pass on the ownership of Woto to others. A statement from Patrick himself, the owner, said, "After 36 years of ownership and with Woto reaching 100 years old, I felt it was the right time for her to have a new lease of life. With the ever-increasing cost challenges for visiting engines, it felt only right that it should be a resident on a railway where it would be used regularly, seen by many and enjoyed by all." So yeah, it's expected that Woto will arrive at its new home in October, but testing and crew training will need to take place because Woto can feature on passenger trains, and it's hoped that it's going to hopefully be ready for their steam gala on December 28th. So yeah, a brand new little narrow gauge steam locomotive, bagnall steam locomotive Woto, come to the Apedale Valley Light Railway. Major applause to Patrick Keef. Decided, you know, it was best for it to move on. What a great little home that's going to be now for it. And like I say, hopefully it's going to, a steam warm-up is happening on December 28th. The railway is hoping that they're going to have Woto up and running and ready for that. So fingers crossed that's going to be the case. So make sure you keep an eye on the Apedale Valley Light Railway's website for further updates, or follow on social media. And fingers crossed we'll see Woto in steam very, very soon. And yes, finally, the last thing I want to touch about is all to do with the Kent and East Sussex Railway. Now, they have literally just announced that they have slightly expanded their fleet, and they do have a semi-permanent visitor coming to the line. So yes, the Kent and East Sussex Railway has announced that they are expanding their diesel fleet with the addition of a Class 08 shunter 08359. The shunter is owned by the Diesel Electric Shunter Company and will stay at the Kent and East Sussex Railway for an initial 2-year period. 08359 will be primarily used to haul engineering trains for the P-Way department and will be used as a motive power department shunter, as well as carrying out carriage shunting at Tenterden. So 08359 was built at the BR workshops in Crewe and is the oldest surviving diesel electric locomotive that was built at the Cheshire Works. Yeah, that's really exciting. Like I say, the oldest surviving BR diesel locomotive, you know, to come out from the Cheshire Works. That's going to have a little bit of drawing power for the Kent and East Sussex Railway. I feel like the Kent and East Sussex Railway as well, realistically, are going from strength to strength, especially, you know, with the 50th anniversary gala that they recently had, you know, and obviously the whole expansion going down at Robertsbridge. Britannia was there. I think really, really exciting things are happening for the Kent and East Sussex Railway, and I could not be more pleased for them. I really couldn't. Really, really lovely little railway. I absolutely love the place. I really do. And yeah, I'm going to make sure I try and get down and see this 08 shunter in action if I can, even if it is just shunting some carriages around Tenterden. Like I say, a little bit of history there in terms of being the oldest one from the Cheshire Works. So yeah, thumbs up to the Kent and East Sussex Railway. And finally, the last thing I want to talk about is all to do with the brand new Piccadilly line trains, which I'm sure we've all seen and heard by now. You know, they're coming very, very soon. They're hoping to get testing done. Hoping to have initially maybe one of them go on non-passengers runnings up and down the line to make sure everything, all the gauges is. And of course, obviously they've stated that they're hoping the whole fleet is going to be operational by 2027. All really, really good. But as the old phrase goes, you can't have nice things anymore, can you? So yes, while the new units were on their way to a depot for testing the other day, like I say, the new Piccadilly line trains were on their way to the depot for testing. Some complete and utter morons have decided to vandalise the carriages, and the carriages were then vandalised with 3 tags of spray paint, graffiti vandalism on it. Now, snaps of the train were shared online on Monday, showing it reported 3 spray-painted tags, and British Transport Police said it received reports that several train carriages had been vandalised and inquiries were ongoing. The vandalised train, though, which you know, if anyone knows them by now, our walk-through carriages, similar to those ones found on the Elizabeth line, have since been cleared and look brand new again, luckily. But yeah, I think what they were literally on their way there for what, a day. That's all it took for the brand new units to get vandalised. Really not surprised. I know these graffiti artists, they like to see blank canvases. The minute they see a blank canvas, something brand new and shiny, target it straight away. Not tarnishing everyone with a brush like that, but a majority of them seeing a brand new blank canvas, oh, I've got to get it. Real shame, but luckily it's been scrubbed off, completely brand new again. Fingers crossed we're going to see those units coming out in 2025, but just goes to show there are still some utter morons out there. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed that episode of Heritage Railway News. If you have, please consider giving us a like, comment down below and subscribe. Hit that bell for notification, give us a thumbs up, really helps out. Let me know of anything you think I should include next week. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one. See you guys.